Okay, this section is to quickly learn the basics. So at this point, we're going to talk about the language of NFTs and Web3, and then we'll go on to the beginner guide to NFT buying and selling. So NFTs are non-fungible tokens. What the heck is that? Fungible simply means that you're able to replace it by an identical item. These are actually not things that you're going to have on your computer. They are a snapshot that's saved on the blockchain. We don't need to really understand what it is, but it's going to be something that is within the entire Web3 and crypto infrastructure. So note that this digital image that we're going to post on the NFT site, it doesn't prevent somebody from copying it. However, like in the physical world, you can photo a baseball card or a rare stamp and then print it out, right? But that fake is mostly worthless because it's relatively easy to prove that the reproduction is not the original. The value of that card or stamp and of the NFT resides in this proof of who created it and its authenticity and the ability to transfer ownership. So while today's emphasis is on creative things like images and music, they are evolving way beyond collectibles, and we'll talk about those a little more. But we're talking about encrypted proof of identity, a digital signature, perhaps your educational accomplishments, government-issued licenses. Blockchain technology implements these and traces the transfers with the details. So sorry. As I was reviewing this before uploading it, I noticed there's way too much detail in here, information that you really don't need to know in order to do the project or to come away from this course with a good understanding of Web3, NFTs, and cybersecurity. So feel free to skip right to the end or watch the rest of it, but I apologize for not keeping it as simple as I promised. Let's just take a quick look at some of these advanced terms. So the utility is simply the most important part is who owns it and who has owned it. The roadmap, of course, is the long-term vision, tells you where the project is going. Interoperability refers to the fact that an NFT can be supported on multiple platforms. An airdrop is when somebody is going to sell a whole bunch of similar NFTs, and they will be in a community. Usually it's as a reward or as something to promote. Floor price, which is something we will talk about when we post your image on the site. It's basically the minimum price that you're willing to sell something for. The provenance is just a sophisticated term for proving ownership history on the blockchain. And we will see as we get into NFTs a little more, especially these images, the traits of an image are those things that make it unique in the collection. Next, we want to talk a little bit about crypto wallet. It's, as you would guess, it's the place where you keep crypto. Now, there are two major types. They're referred to as a hot or cold. Hot simply means it's online. Cold means it's not online. The one thing you want to take from this is that cold is safer, and it is almost impossible to be hacked. But that's where cryptocurrency is kept. So there are a lot of variations on this, and we're going to learn a little more about them as we move forward. Cryptocurrency is just money. It's a form of money, digital money. And you will see that there are coins like Bitcoin, Ether. As we know, this term of exchange is where you take money from one type and turn it into money of another type. Typically, exchanges are where you will take your dollars and change them into Ether or Bitcoin, one who has or any of the thousands of other. Therefore, you will be protecting it by having a wallet where you keep them. And now, one of the really critical things about the whole cryptocurrency world is that there are these things called smart contracts. And a smart contract is just software. And it is published. It, in effect, executes the terms of the contract. For example, when we put this NFT for sale, we can say that whenever it changes hands, somebody's going to pay me a royalty. And all of this information is stored on blockchains. So an NFT transaction is actually, there's a contract underneath that specifies what the price is for sale, who the creator is, who the buyer and seller were, and the terms of the contract, which in our case is going to include a royalty payment every time it changes hands. Royalties are sort of fun. You sell your NFT for $10, somebody else buys it and for $100. Well, our smart contract is going to say, pay me 20% of that every time it changes hands. Someday, if it sells for $1 million, you collect $200,000 because somebody has found it so valuable. So you continue, as long as that thing exists, every time it changes hand, you'll get 20%. Okay, now the next thing we're going to talk about is Web3. Why is it even called Web3? Because we've already done Web 1 and Web 2.